New season, new me, and I'm only playing Arishem and Hela. Nah, I'm kidding, but Agent Venom came out and I genuinely enjoy the card. People have been playing him in Bounce and in Patriot, but I found a deck that I think I like a little better than both of those. And here's the list. I was on ladder and I kind of just yoinked it off someone who beat me. So I don't remember the origin. Just know it ain't mine, and don't tell people that, yo, this is a Loki Toma list, because I don't know, man. But it was too good not to share. Essentially, it takes the Darkhawk shell and swaps out Ravonna for Agent Venom. It's also really nice because it destroys Hela decks. How it works is if you get Agent Venom on turn 2, I'm usually snapping. He gives 4 power to your deck, so every card in there is buffed by that, especially your Iron Man and Mystique. And how you play this is you Korg and Rock Slide, so you get a lot of rocks in their deck for a nice and big Darkhawk. So that's nothing new, and you're gonna copy Darkhawk with Mystique on the final turn. Also, adding rocks to their deck makes your Casanova more powerful. And depending on the deck you're against, Cosmo can protect you from Shadow King, Enchantress, or even Shang-Chi. And then outside the Darkhawk line, you have another one in here. You have Thena, Angela, and Kitty Pryde that can all get a lot of power early just with those cards alone. And I know you're sick of me playing Thena, but god, this is a good card and I love it. And doing all that early game, you can drop Iron Man on turn 5, which usually wins a lane, especially if it's hit with Agent Venom. And last turn, obviously Mystique can copy that Hawk, but it also can copy Iron Man. And then you also have Juggernaut, who can straight up win lanes and games that final turn. And funny enough, I don't think this deck is crazy expensive. I mentioned Ravonna could be a sub out for Agent Venom. For Thena, I'd be fine with a small tech card, but if you feel like that is losing you too much power, instead maybe I'd try something along the lines of subbing the Thena Kitty Angela package out for something like the Madam Web move package. But if you don't want to do any of that, you could just throw in White Widow. And lastly, I'd be fine for Sage for Casanova, but Casanova you can play out on curve, while Sage is more for the late game plays, so I lean towards Casanova. And last season, towards the end of it, I dreaded playing Symbiote for the missions, but I think if this deck holds up, I don't have to worry about the missions feeling like chores for Agent Venom. And we jump into the ladder trying to climb to Infinite, and here's how the start of the season goes. First game, I Korg, and he plays Kingpin, and following that, he plays Scream, which is the first time I've seen this card. I'm not too familiar with the Scream decks yet, so I dropped down Cosmo and Kitty, but he's definitely out-tempoing me. But I do feel safe dropping the Darkhawk behind the Cosmo. In the final turn, he's just got me beat in Sanctum, so I full send it on Wakanda. He drops Jean Grey and a rock. So we successfully ruined his hand, and we win the game with Mystique and friends in Wakanda. The next game, we get a Korg into an Agent Venom, which is my ideal start. He plays Ravonna, so I'm thinking, what is this deck? And then I take a look at how many cards he has, and it's Arishem, so it doesn't mean that much. In Dark Dimension, I'm expecting something like Enchantress or Shang, so I drop a Cosmo before my Darkhawk, but they drop down a blob that gets nice and big, and here's the final turn. And yeah, that might have been overkill on the right, but damn, this deck goes tall, even taller than some of the Arishem decks. The next game, he's playing Bounce since his rocket hits my Kitty, and I get a turn 3 Agent Venom, which isn't awful. I'm just hoping I can draw Mystique. So we Rock Slide and Kitty, but unlucky for me, they got to use Nico to copy their 8 power Sage. So we're in some deep water, and they play their own agent, and I'm gonna go ahead and just Darkhawk and bar Sinister, confident he has nothing to beat that. So the final turn, we stack Sakaar, and we end up losing the game by 1 power. But damn, for how much we were cooked early on, that was a close game. We then get another Nico gamer that Agent Venoms, as we also use Agent Venom, and it's gonna be a shootout. They then drop 3-4 power Mysterio clones, and I just play Rock Slide. And lucky for us, they Falcon and play Demon for kind of a meh turn. And with my Korg and Casanova, we're able to catch up, at least by a little bit. And I feel we can win Sandbox with Darkhawk alone. So the last turn, he plays Hit Monkey into a Rocket, and I copy the Hawk with Mystique. And that's gonna win that lane, and then we shove the monkey out of the mid lane with Juggernaut to win that as well. And this is just how great some of our turn 6s can be with this deck. Now, last game of the video. To get me to the 80s, we have another great turn 2 with Agent, and he's got some funky stuff cooking with Strong Guy, Howard, Nick Fury, and yeah, it's an Arishem deck. We cast Nova for a huge play, and right before we can Cosmo to protect it, he hits us with the Shang-Chi and snaps. But with Limbo up, I still feel like we have time to win. He Eliaths our Kitty, which is fine, and bless our Cosmo for saving our Iron Man. And here is the final turn. Yeah, we won, but it wasn't pretty. I messed up the order with the Iron Man and Kitty Pryde, so we end up losing mid where we should have tied if Mystique was able to copy my Iron Man. But hey, that's what I get for not paying attention. So final thoughts on the deck. I'll probably be playing this for challenges this season, maybe even to climb the ladder. I'd like to hit my highest rank this season, so maybe it will propel me to that. But yeah, let me know what kind of Agent Venom list you're cooking with. I've seen a lot of bounce stuff going around, and I thought this was a fun change of pace. But that's gonna be all from me. Thanks for watching, and I'll see ya in the next one. Bye!